Hey Canucks fans, thank you for waiting. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. So, usual, hold your questions until the very end. Not until the very end. Give me 5 minutes to riff for a little bit. Not even rant, not even rave. Just give me 5 minutes to go first, and then I'll definitely get to your questions after that. So, hi. I am Clay Emo. I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. And this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary live stream on a night where the Canucks lost 4-3 to the Calgary Flames in overtime. I have a lot of thoughts on this game, but before I get started, I want to say thank you to my Hall of Fame members, Jens95, simalexander, Just Incredible, nucksfan number 29. I want to thank all my members from all three levels, Hall of Fame, Franchise, and All-Star. All you guys are listed in all my video descriptions. Thank you. And if you want to join this channel and support me that way, you're welcome to do so by pressing the join button under any of my videos or looking on the membership tab as well. And if you don't feel like supporting or you can't support or won't support monetarily, that's fine as well. I appreciate the fact that you are here right now. So having said that, subscribe if you'd like to. Like this video, not because the Canucks lost, but like the fact that we can chat about the Canucks after their loss. I appreciate that. And like I said, consider joining as a member. And as I always say, whether you're here in my hometown of Steveston, Richmond City, Lower Mainland, in the province, in the country, or on the continent, or around the world, like Debut Hunter, who I found out his name is Tamer, like he is, I appreciate you, and I certainly do not take you for granted. I also know there are other options out there now when it comes to late night talk shows and late night sports radio or sports video or sports YouTube. So I do appreciate you being here. Okay, we're at the 2 minute mark. So let me go for about 3 minutes and then I would ask you to start typing your questions after that. So give me 3 minutes or so. Okay. Depends if you're a glass half full or glass half empty type of person. You guys know I'm a glass half full type person, but I admit I'm feeling a tiny bit glass half empty. So the Canucks did a few things well. They dominated the first period. It says 1 for 4 on the power play in the first period, but for all intents and purposes, they were 2 for 4 because Tanner Pearson's goal was 1 second after the Calgary Flames penalty expired. So just like what Calgary did to us 2 games ago when they scored 2 goals like that, they were even strength goals, but they might as well be power play goals. Same thing. So the Canucks went 2 for 4 in the first period, basically. But so I like the 2 goals, obviously, the Pearson tip in and then the tic-tac-toe Miller, Besser, Horvath. Did not like the fact that they gave up that late goal to Lucic because I can't stand Lucic and I can't stand Calgary. You guys know that. Then the second period kind of regressed to their bad habits a little bit, where the Horvath drop pass. I know he fanned on his pass, but I'm wondering actually if he thought Hughes was going to play closer to him and go truly right behind him as opposed to shading off to the boards. I didn't like the way that Jordy Ben played so aggressively with the skater because it was a 3-on-1. I would love for him to sag back a little bit and give his defenders a chance to get back, but it was happening so fast, and obviously he was trying to make a play. So I didn't like that, and the Canucks come out of that period down 3-2. Didn't look good when Hughes took that penalty with a minute and a half left, but I love the fact, or a minute left, but I love the fact that the Canucks loaded up basically their power play unit, except without Hughes. They had Myers instead. Hughes was in the penalty box, and I love the way that Besser scored to at least earn the point. So as I tweeted out, with Besser's second point of the evening, he guaranteed the Canucks at least 1 point. Of course, you get to overtime. You never want to see an overtime start with Edler, Myers, and Beagle, but obviously it's because they were killing a penalty. And then as soon as they killed that penalty, you would have seen the next whistle go back to 3-on-3 if the game hadn't ended by then, and then you can load up your stars that way. But we never got that far because Johnny Gaudreau scores 23 seconds into the extra frame. Hard to play 4-on-3 defense, but you still like I don't know if it's a save from Demko there or a more aggressive or a better read from Edler, whatever it is. It's unfortunate that the high that we got from Besser scoring and taking us into overtime to the low of having the game end 23 seconds in. So, like I said, glass half full, the Canucks got a point, and they're right there, except for a couple of errors in the second period that cost them. Or glass half empty, it's going to be very hard to make up ground when basically we lost another point of ground to the Calgary Flames. Okay, there's 5 minutes. I kind of like that rhythm of giving myself, I can give myself as long as I want, I guess, but give myself the first 5 minutes. And now I will turn it over to you. So from now on, let's go with your questions from here. Harry, hi Clay, great effort from the Canucks tying up for the Canucks. Your thoughts on Höglander's performance tonight? Yeah, thank you, Harry. I actually forgot to mention him, but I did mention him in my post-game live stream. I actually liked Höglander's game. He was very noticeable. He's got to learn how to hit the net with his shots, but he was noticeable. He had 5 shots on net, and those are the ones that hit the net. He probably had another 3 or 4 that went wide or went high. So he was very noticeable. 18 minutes of ice time, 3 minutes of power play time, -1, but that's okay. I'm not going to get too worked up about what the minus is. So I thought Höglander was once again a good player, and you can see the shiner. His black eye is getting better and better. Owen TV, do you think if Vancouver won this game, do you think Demko stole this game? No, I don't think. I wouldn't say it was a steal, considering that the Canucks actually outshot the Flames once again. And Demko didn't have to. I actually don't think Demko had to make any crazy saves. But it wasn't his fault that we lost either. Yeah, I'll put it like that. How many saves he made? He made 23 saves overall on 27 shots. So yeah, it's not the best performance ever, but I don't think it's his fault that we lost either. Gmod, they have improved. The older games are horrible. Yeah, their defensive structure is much better, but I think it took a slight step back tonight. But that was because it was magnified by the fact that the Calgary scored on those two turnovers. Van Gogh, hey Clay, thoughts on Horvath and Besser's goals? Yeah, Besser's goal, as I mentioned, was great, and Horvath's goal was nice. That tic-tac-toe play, and I believe that was 5-on-3 when they did that. So it makes sense that he had that time and space. Inferno, thoughts on the own goal? Yeah, I'm not sure what Schmidt's doing. He can't do that. Avash Clay, at least we got the point. So remind me of the Avs game last year when Besser tied it and then we lose quickly in OT. Yeah, we got a point. Demko got to be better on the OT goal. Yeah, Tyler, I would not disagree with that. Riley, if you do a Halloween stream, would you dress up as Thanos from the Avengers? Only if you make me a costume. Costas, why is Schmidt not playing like he did in Vegas? I remember watching him versus us in playoffs, and he was like a beast skating. Yeah, I will say that Schmidt to me, he's kind of underperformed since he's been here. He has kind of flip-flopped left side, right side. I've talked about this many times in my vlogs. Depending on if Chatfield or Ulevi's playing, Ulevi plays, then Schmidt goes to the right. If Chatfield plays, Schmidt goes to the left. So, but he's getting better, as they mentioned on the broadcast, once he has a consistent D partner. So I'm hopefully he still comes around to that. But yeah, because we're paying him a lot of money, and it's a pretty long contract. But I'm not worried. I do want him to be better, though, for sure. Harsunder, Hughes is a bit of an issue as a quarterback. What are your thoughts on Ulevi as a power play quarterback? No, Harsunder, I think Hughes is with his skating and his edge work and his pivots and his passing. I think Hughes is still a much better option. And Ulevi, Hughes at least, he's not the fastest skater. Remember, I've said Hughes isn't the fastest skater A to B, but he's quick. He pivots. He's shifty, right? Ulevi's just not a fast skater overall. So I think it's too much of a liability to have Ulevi back there, to be honest with you. Maybe down the road, Ulevi takes over power play too, though. Fangirl, thoughts on Myers? I thought he was okay. Took the 1 penalty, but wow, a quiet 2 assists. I didn't even notice that. I guess that makes sense because he's the one to pass it to Besser on the game tire, and then he was the pass it to Hughes who shot it when Pearson tipped it in. So a quiet 2 points, but 2 shots on goal, no hits, 1 block. Yeah, I thought he was okay. Okay, so he wants me to read his name as long as there's no swearing. Clado, Jimbo, where art thou? Where thek Luongo go? Luongo. I messed that up. Okay, Clado, Jimbo, where art thou? Where thek Luongo? Very good. Very creative. Sonny, hey Clay, don't you think that Green should have put Horvath, Miller, and Myers in overtime instead? Because it's not like a 5-on-4, but you skilled guys have faith in them. Sonny, that's such a tough call because I was just about to tweet, I hope we never see Beagle, Myers, and Edler start in overtime again. And before I even had time to press send, the Calgary had already scored. So it's really tough. But as a coach, I'm sure Travis Green wants his penalty killers out there first. And then you think offense once you get a whistle. Once you kill that penalty, you can put the puck back to Demko and get a whistle. And then it goes to 3-on-3. and then you get your more offensive players out there. That's a tough call because I think you want to try and get through that power play first, and that's what Green was thinking. Adrian has some bad news. Okay, I'm ready for it. Unsolved mystery. Hey, Clay, where the heck is Jim Benning? Isn't he always here? Well, he's only been here for the last 2, and he definitely clogs up the feed a little bit when he's here. Michael, hey, Clay, at least you guys didn't get embarrassed by the Senators tonight. Yeah, that was crazy, Michael. Thanks for being on here, by the way. I know you're back east, or at least you're a Toronto's fan. I think you are back east. But yeah, 6-5 loss. That's crazy. Should Horvath be on the PK going to OT? Great point, Canucks Dream. Yeah, that's a good point, actually, to win that draw at least, and maybe then you kill off the 20 to 30 seconds. That's a really good point. Although, as we know, Horvath's penalty killing is not great. Howard says, perhaps we could have gone after Martinez. I still like Schmidt. I just think he's had a slow start. Thoughts on the OT goal, Costas? Yeah, I think Demko could have played that better, to be honest with you, because it wasn't the hardest shot ever. Could Edler have read that better? Tough to say. It's 4-on-3, right? There's a lot more open ice than 5-on-4 on a 4-on-3. So I'm not really going to blame anyone. With Hughes just tired at the end of the game, he was on the ice a lot at the end. Yeah, Arjun, they were making a point that he was double shifting, and that particular shift, he had gone for 2 minutes straight. Thought on Benning and Green? I think Green's safe. I think Benning, apparently, according to Francesco Aquilini, is safe. Should Green change the lines? No, I like the lines. I think you leave the top 6 the way they are, and the bottom 6 you can keep tinkering, but it's not going to make much of a difference immediately. Sonny's not happy with Schmidt. Edmund's back after getting his PC back. Welcome back, Edmund. Your liver reminds me a bit of Sammy Sallow minus the slap shot. Well, okay, I guess you got the finish part right. Ocean, what do you think? What do you think would be a fair contract for Myers if you could back and redo it, seeing how he plays now? Oh yeah, that's so tough to say, Ocean. It's kind of not realistic, but maybe you try and keep it under 4 or 4.5 at the most. Easier said than done, though. What are your thoughts of putting Harlock in the lineup next game? Harsunder, I could see that happening now because I knew that you weren't going to put him in while the Canucks were winning. Granted, they'd only won 1 game. But now that they've lost, you got McEwen. Maybe do you try McEwen and Harlock instead of Eriksson and Virtanen? Eriksson only played 7 minutes and Virtanen only played 6:52. So what are they actually doing, right? Maybe you try Harlock and McEwen in for the next game. Edmund's second goal, Calgary scored. I would blame Horvath on that bad pass and third luck, bad luck with Schmidt for sure. Fangirl is 1 point better than losing in regulation. Of course. 1 point's always better than no points. Calgary's going to get 2 no matter what, so of course you want the point. Max, do you think we should bench Virtanen forever? Not sure if he's going to be around that much longer for you to worry about that. We'll see. Because I've always said, if we're trying to trade him, you got to build up his trade value. At least they're playing him, but they're not playing him that much. Jim Benning is indeed here. Welcome. You're always welcome. Yes, that we got a slight glimmer of hope with that offside, especially when the fact that Toronto initiated the offside challenge. Then I got really excited. Sonny, hey Clay, do that dumb stupid rookie play by Schmidt remind you of that own goal when he accidentally banked it off Luongo the exact same way and positioned as Schmidt's own goal? Yeah, talking about Hamhuis. Yeah, it happens. I don't know. I just don't know why you go up the middle there. People aren't happy with Schmidt. Should the Canucks play McEwen or Virtanen? Dexter, I think they should, but McEwen only played 3.5 minutes last time, and they're saying, Thomas Drance and others are saying Virtanen brings at least more speed, but maybe that's what Harlock can do. We'll see. Be interesting to see what happens. Now they go to Calgary to play. It's weird. Three at home here and then 1 in Calgary and then back home. Does anyone know the update on Hamlet? Yeah, he's not practicing yet, so he's still at least a week away, I'd say. Lego Geo is here. Hey Geo, hope you're doing well. I watched your life update video yesterday. It was very well done. I appreciate the honesty and transparency as always. And remember, I've said this to you privately, and I'll say it to you publicly too, because I want you and other people to hear it, and I want people to support you in it. Never feel the pressure. I know you want to do well and you want to excel, but never, make sure it makes sense for your mental health, your physical health, and just overall know that we all got your back. Big channels, small channels alike. Even if we don't have a channel, we appreciate what you do, and we want your health and your overall happiness. And your state in life is more important to me and to all of us than if you crank out 2, 3, 4 videos a day, as good as they are. Michael, do you expect the Canucks to make a trade before the deadline or keep the team as is? I just don't know who you trade. We hardly have any assets left after giving away some of our draft picks. And you're not going to get rid of your top 6 guys. And then our bottom 6 guys maybe don't even have much trade value. So it's tough. I think it's going to be minor moves only. No, I can't stick around. No problem. Priorities. Betty's not happy. Clay, why don't you think Vertan shows more emotion? He had an opportunity to probably fight Tkachuk. He literally shows no emotion out there. Yeah, he was Chonger. He was getting in the middle of things, though. I think he's still a bit of an agitator, but yeah, you do want to see him more active for sure. I wonder if he's kind of checked out a little bit too. I don't know. Arjun only watched the third period. Was this just a game the Canucks that get away from them? We had good pressure in the third. Yeah, Arjun, we dominated the first and third periods. Calgary's much better in the second, and they made us pay on 2 costly turnovers. Some people think that last goal was offside. It was so tricky because remember, your skate doesn't have to be on the ice anymore, so they're saying that winger on the far end. It looked very close, like by a shade. Yeah, Lefty Myers had a decent game. Kyle, I think you're new here. I mean, from a standpoint of you type the same thing over and over, which is fine, but I'll read it. But generally, so I can keep up, I read questions only. So even if you put a question mark at the end of it, I would have read it. But Kyle, I will read it because I appreciate you lending input. Kyle's would make the playoffs if they trade for Barzl and Dumba and Mike Scarboza and should have claimed Tyler Adams. Okay, Kyle, that's fine. But who are you trading for Barzl and Dumba to make that work? Costas, didn't they change the offside rule? They did, and that's why it counted. JC, hey Clay, do you feel that Hoglander isn't getting enough shots on net? I noticed that he misses a lot. Yes, he misses a lot, but then I look it up and he's got 5 shots on goal. So imagine if he actually hit the net on all his shots. He had 8 or 9 then, which is good. They're going to start going. And I actually mentioned that in a vlog a couple of days ago. That his shooting percentage is only between 10 and 11%. Now even lower. So you want to see that up around the 12, 13%, or maybe 10 or 11 is average. I don't even know. Time for hockey. What's your job? I work for the Catholic Archdiocese of Vancouver. I work in evangelization, catechesis, basically train leaders, help churches, do their ministry, do some communications work, some videos, and some public speaking as well. Then on the side, I'm a musician and a bowler. Grease Daddy keep repeatedly saying that goal is offside. Jay, hey Clay, just curious of what's in your cup all the time. Sorry for asking a different unrelated. No, Jay, you can ask whatever you want. Generally, I save the non-Canucks questions for the last 2 or 3 minutes, but no, it's always water. It's always water. It's always water. Same cup all the time. Don't worry, I wash it, but it's always water. I'm trying to cut back on my Pepsi. Although maybe I should start drinking Pepsi if the Canucks win, because I would have only had to drink it 7 times this season, unfortunately. Oh, I just made myself sad. Betty, shotgun Jake, Adam Gaudette, and a second for Jake DeBrusk. I think that's a lot for DeBrusk. Because Adams Gaudette's still a third line center that maybe you want, especially given you traded away Tyler Madden, and I don't think you want to be giving away draft picks. So that's the conundrum the Canucks are in. You got to give up quality to get quality. Lego, wise words, Clay. I appreciate that. No problem, Gio. You know I mean it, and you know that you can reach out to me anytime. What was our biggest downfall tonight? Fangirl, 2 turnovers in the second period. Okay, Kyle, I've read your comment about Barzl and Dumba and Grease Daddy. I've read your offside comment many times. If I see it again, I might give you a bit of a break for 5 minutes. Time for hockey. Is Harlock healthy now? He is. He's been a healthy scratch, but he's been practicing with the team. Jim Benning. Okay, Clay, look, I'll be honest. I was going to claim Galchenyuk off waivers, but I lost my flip phone and Dollar Store wasn't open to get a new one. Do you have cans and a string I can use? Yeah, come over after the stream and I'll give everything to you. If this was a full 82 season, you think Besser could get past 30 goals? Yeah, the way he's playing, I think he could. Some nice words to, well-deserved words to Geo from Dexter. Avash Clay, what do you think about Murph and John following the Nucks dress code today? Sure, why not? Why not get in on it? Doesn't what's his name? Dan Murphy look good? I know Sean and I, my son, we're talking about how ripped he looks. I wish I looked that good in one of those shirts, but I try to change it up just for you guys. I cut my hair, as you can see, and then I'm wearing my favorite Canucks golf shirt instead of a t-shirt for once, although I think I spilt on it in all 3 meals today. Dominic, hey Clay, when do you think Jace will come in? I think soon, next game, perhaps. And Louis will leave because it's a joke that Louis gets $6 million. Canucks could buy him out next season, right? You only want to buy a guy out with 1 year left on his contract. And if that's the case, you pay him half his contract over twice the year. So basically, we'd be paying Louis $3 million instead of $6 million. $3 million, but for next season and the season after that. So $1.5 million in each of those 2 years. Something to think about for sure. Even the two Johns seem a bit confused with some plays the Canucks are breaking. You know what's even more confusing, Nick? When John Garrett says that Bo Horvath and Matthew Tkachuk were London Knights teammates. No, they both played for the London Knights, but Horvath's last season there was 13-14, and then 12-13, and then Tkachuk played there 15-16, right before he got drafted in 2016, one spot after Olli Levy. So there's a 2-year gap between them. Maestro, do you think Besser and Miller should switch sides during the PP? I think it's always fine for a bit of a different look. So I don't mind them trying things. I just want them to make cleaner entry passes and game the zone. Jasper, why did they change the offside rule? Because there were too many stoppages, too many disputed calls. Now it's a little easier. There should be, in theory, less offsides called. Basically, you don't have to have your puck. You don't have to have your skate on the ice. Picture a vertical plane as long as there's a piece of you that's behind the vertical plane by the time the puck gets in. And that's what we saw in the game-winning goal. Up to 100 viewers. Thanks, everyone. Even on a Canucks loss. Who will get the next start? Good question. Now I think you could go back to Holtby, especially given that you're traveling as well. Thoughts on PD's play tonight? He was okay. Noticeable. He got the assist, that one assist. And what's it saying? Only one shot on goal, though. 50% of the faceoffs, 19 minutes of ice time. I'd like to see him shoot more. I get that you just don't want to shoot and get the shot blocked, but make them think. Like, make them think about blocking your hard shot. I'd love to see him shoot more. Maybe things look different on the TV, but it always seems like that he's got a lot of time and space. Sonny, do you think Besser has a legit shot at winning the Rocket Richard? And if Matthews gets injured, I think Besser has the best chance. What do you think? Just saying I don't want Matthews to get... No, Sonny, I believe you. Yeah, I think he's got a shot. I don't think he's the favorite, but he's got a shot. No pun intended. Actually, pun completely intended. The way he is playing right now, 11 goals in 19 games now. Sure, I think he's got a shot. Isles girl, welcome Kim, the Clay King from the Long Island Queen. Thank you very much. Time for hockey. You and Lego should make a podcast. I would watch it all the time. Would you consider that? I love Geo. Geo and I are buds. We've done one collab so far where I actually did a Zoom chat with him. So look that up on my channel, where it's great to get Geo's insights on what he's doing with his channel and his career path and all that. Podcasting, I've done that a couple times. I've been on a couple. I helped start the C4 podcast on Canucks Hockey Blog. That's still going. But podcasting admittedly takes a lot of time, and I wasn't even the one doing the editing. I like the video stuff a bit more, not because I think I'm so good looking, although I am the founder of the GLCPC, but I just like the video thing a little more. But I know there are a lot of good podcasts out there right now. There's so many good Canucks podcasts, and Geo does have the voice for podcasting. Some would argue that maybe I have the face for podcasting as well. Would you trade Besser for Barzl? I think I would, actually. they're both great. I really like Besser, but I think Barzl has more ability to break a game wide open. I'd have to think about that though. We'll see what Kim, if you're still in here, Isles girl, would you trade? Here, I think I know her answer, but let's see what she'd say. Would you trade Barzl out of the New York Islanders and take Brock Besser back? And don't worry about contract status, just player for player. All right, so hey Clay, how are you doing? I'm great, thank you. Hope you are well. Thoughts on Virtanen and his brutal giveaways? Momentum change after that giveaway on his first goal. Yeah, he gave it away on the first goal. Horvath gave it away on the second goal. And Schmidt gave it away on the third goal. So 3 mistakes, three Calgary goals. Dan Murphy does indeed look really good. Guy looks built. Yes, I agree with you, Gio. Owen TV, no problem. Never apologize, you guys, when you have to go or if you just want to leave. But thank you for making not only Canucks losses better, but also making me happier watching you. God bless. Remember, peace, love, positivity. Owen, same to you. Appreciate that, brother. Clay, do you think our goalies will ever end up with league least average stats? I don't think they'll be at the very bottom, but they're certainly not near the top. That's for sure. All right, so yes, good luck to you as well in our fantasy hockey matchup. North of 90s, Clay, who should be the new GM if they fire Benning? Someone said Bonnie Henry is the new GM. I don't know about her, but I think you got to go with someone experienced. I would love Lawrence Gilman to come back. I would love that, but I wonder if there's too much bad blood with with management right now. You'll levy for Chuck seem fair? Yeah, fair for us, not for them. Edmund, when will the kids come back on the stream? Maybe when once the Canucks start winning a couple more. To their credit, they're focusing on church stuff, on their studies, they're working. And then Sean and Jake are doing such good work on their YouTube channel. They've passed me, so they're at 6,050 subs. They gain like 70 subs a day when they post a new video. They're doing good. So they blasted past me. They'll probably hit 10,000 by summertime, and I'll be happy with my 6,000 if I make it by the end of this month. Not that it's about numbers though. Michael, when Seattle comes in the league, you think Canucks and Seattle will be the biggest rivals in the NHL? No, Michael, I think that's going to take a while. It'll be a natural rivalry, but it'll take a while to build up, especially rivalries usually start in playoffs, actually. Sonny, if the whole 21 roster, Sedin's, Luongo, Kessler, Burrows, BX, etc. were playing today, would they make the playoffs? Would they at least be competitive? And who's the leading scorer? If the 21 roster played today, I think they would be competitive because they were fast, they were aggressive, they had awesome goaltending. So yeah, they'd be a playoff team for sure. And I think Henrik or Daniel would be the leading scorers. Dominic, good night. Why did Virtanen get a penalty during that scrum? Well, I think Connor Mackey was going to get the original penalty, and then there was enough going on in there where they had to any new penalties they'd have to even out. So I guess it was Tkachuk and Virtanen that got him. It's because they were like pushing and punching each other. That's why. Gmod thinks that PD is being a perfectionist, perhaps. Is Brock underrated? Depends, Jaskrin. I think a lot of people were disappointed with this play 2 seasons ago in his sophomore year. Then last year was okay. He's becoming a more complete player. Is he underrated? I just think he gets overshadowed. Maybe not underrated, but he certainly gets overshadowed by PD, by Hughes, and even by JT Miller sometimes. Jaskran says Markey finally didn't play up to his best. Yeah, the fact we got 3 by him, and I'm sure 2 of those 3 he would like back, but it's okay. It's fine. He's human too. He was human for us. He's not gonna be amazing every single game. Cody, really like Cody's optimism, saying that point could be huge later in the season. If you're talking about the Canucks, yes. Hopefully it's not huge for Calgary. DSL, I love watching Hoglander skating and grit. Yep. Schmidt's goal brought me back to Eriksson's goal on Canucks net. Yeah, actually, I didn't. That's not what I thought about right away. But yeah, just not a good play. Not a good play. And it wasn't in Schmidt's first game with us. Would you rather have Schmidt or Tanev? Time for hockey, giving contract and age, I probably would still say Schmidt, but I think that Schmidt hasn't done enough to erase our memories of Tanev just yet. Yeah, another person mentioned the Ham Hughes own goal and Luongo. If Tyler is, yeah, so Tyler Mott's cousin is Allie, but I haven't seen her tonight, Lefty. So a lot of people would trade for Barzl. They would trade Besser for Barzl, and that's no disrespect on Besser. Barzl's a better player. Tanev was too busy looking at the Crown Royal ad. Oh, instead of covering Lucic. Sure, Dexter. Should Canucks call Pittsburgh for Crosby and Malkin north of 90s? I don't think that's happening. How is Colin doing in the NHL? Sammy, I don't know. I've seen odd highlight of him here and there, so I still think he's got a shot to make this team in the next couple of years as spots open up. By the way, I've been saying that they shouldn't re-sign Pearson, save that $4 million and give that spot to Podkolzin, but and Pearson's very streaky. We've talked about that before, but I thought he had a decent game today. Well, at least he had that goal. It kind of went quiet after that. But yeah, he's the Canucks' leading goal scorer since he's been here in the past 2 years, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. Sheldon, Clay, would you consider doing player ratings during the live stream? We would all vote and you review the average ratings and give us yours. Sheldon, good idea. I think I'd do that if we were totally running out of topics or if there wasn't enough activity. But I just think that would be, even though I sometimes get you to do goofy ratings and stuff for me, I think that would be tough to, it would be not tough to manage, but I'm not sure if that's the best use of the time. But Sheldon, I'll take that under consideration for sure. For sure. I appreciate the suggestion. Cody, didn't even look like anything was going to be gotten in the last 40 seconds or so. Definitely take this and run. What were your thoughts on the game? I thought it was fine. I thought the Canucks played good in the first and third, not good in the second, but that second cost them. Lefty said, I wish Tyler Mott would join us here in the chat. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to happen. But I would love it if a Canucks player was here. So how you doing? I didn't have time to see the game, but here for the live stream. Well, thank you. I think along with me and the rest of those, the rest of the people in here, we can give you a pretty good recap. Also, you guys know that NHL does the 5-minute recap videos as well. If we traded Brock, what would we get back for him? We'd get a roster player for sure. He's a first-line player, so you'd expect either a first-line player or a second-line player and a draft pick, something like that. I don't want to think about it, though. Would you bring back Vigneault if he was available? Maestro, I did like him. I did like him a lot. Canucks should look at who's Bartosak as a free agent. North of 90. Did you spell that name right? Because I don't recognize it. Nick, hey Clay, what do you think of Miller? Personally, I don't like how he's played this year. I think he's been okay. I think he's quietly piling up these points. He led all forwards in ice time by a margin. He had 25 minutes tonight, whereas the next best guy was Besser at 21. And but he still is good for one or two giveaways a game. It's funny, he wasn't credited with any, but I can count at least 2 cross-ice passes that weren't great. Yeah, he's been fighting the puck a little bit, yet he's still a good offensive player. So how you doing? Canucks Clay can be a coach of and then it gets cut off. So I'm not sure who you're saying I could coach. Jasper, if we didn't cost those goals, do you think we would win the game? Yeah, of course, because those are 3 giveaways. Led to 3 Calgary goals. Would you make any roster changes for next game, Clay? So I would try Harlock. Bring him in for Virtanen if Harlock's skating well and he's got enough speed. I don't worry about us getting exposed as much as other people. You still have Gaudette. I would bring Harlock in for Virtanen or Eriksson, try it out. And maybe McEwen too. He's probably hungry. I'd try McEwen and Harlock for Virtanen and Eriksson. Nick, do you think that Schmidt will turn into a good player? I do. I'm confident, hopeful. Hey, Clay, do you think they should give Michaelis a chance? Yes, Crabman, I think they should. He's a center, and he's got some wheels, so maybe we'll see that soon. I don't know. That's a good point, but he's not even... he's on the taxi squad, I believe, right? He's not even on the main roster yet. Sonny, who would you rather have as best coach for the Canucks? Best fit, Vigneault, Tortorella, Desjardins, or Green? I like Green, but I really like Vigneault. So if I had to rank those guys, I'd go Vigneault, Green, Tortorella, Desjardins. Who's the most overrated Canucks player of all time? Overrated. Gosh. I'd have to think about that one. Messier, but maybe I'm comparing him to what he didn't do here to what he's capable of. But maybe that's more disappointing as opposed to overrated. Good question. North of 90, if you're saying that the Sedins were the most overrated, then that's wrong. If you're saying the most underrated, I agree. There are a lot of underrated players. Underrated. Maybe Matthias Olin. I thought he was excellent on the blue line. But he's also known as the Canucks' best defenseman, though, in franchise history. Soon to be passed by Quinn Hughes, though. Nahal, hey Clay. Chase, who won the game? Calgary did 4-3 in overtime. Reaction Club, hey Clay, at least Schmidt finally scored, though he decided to wear a Nucks jersey and play for the... Yeah, scored in her own net. Rios is stung. Adelac is most overrated. Yeah, that's fair. Canucks fans loved him for sure. Barkowski, maybe, yeah. He's talking about Matt Barkowski. Czech League 1 Cup with LA Kings. Okay, I have to look that up. Gerard Gallant. Yeah, Nick, I've seen that name a few times. Harsinder, do you think perhaps Calgary places Levo on waivers to send to the taxi squad? Is there a chance Jimbo claims him then? I don't know if... I think the ship has sailed on Levo. And I think that... I don't know if it's to send him to the taxi squad. Maybe they just wanted to have a change of their lineup. I don't know for sure. Ricky, brother. Hey, brother. Always great to see you doing your thing. Thank you, brother. You too. I'm happy with the point tonight. Any points we get are super important. That Brock shot reminded me of Naslin in Detroit. Nice callback. But yeah, it was nice to see us fight for that point for sure. Rome, I thought actually late to rest all this talk about firing Green and Benning. I did too. And I articulated why in my video. Nick thinks the team is soft. Lefty Green is a good coach. Jan Boos was good. He was. Arso, Flames players getting behind the Canucks. In the second Dubé could have had a few on our side. We need to be more aware. Yeah, I think tonight was a slight step back, Arsenal, in our defensive coverage, especially considering how well we played on Saturday night. Jasper, what would you get back for Holtby? Jasper, if you're asking if we traded Holtby, what would we get back? I don't know how much you get for him because he's not playing that well. Maybe a bottom 6 or some draft picks, but I don't think you get a lot for him right now, to be honest with you. Fred likes Cody Hodgson, Jim Benning. Jasper, did you expect us to score late? No, I hadn't given up, but immediately I was in the washroom thinking about what I was going to say for my post-game recap video, and then I heard Gail, Sean, and Jake screaming their heads off. So I immediately missed the tying goal live. Would you take a 21-11 Ham Hughes right now, Clay? Absolutely. If you're talking about, like, I get him when at 30 years of age or whatever, and not 40, yeah, he was great. Arjun, the Canucks for sure aren't winning the cup. I still think they can make the playoffs. What do you think, Clay? I do. Remember, in my head, I've been saying all along that as long as Toronto, Montreal, and Ottawa win, and Calgary, Edmonton, and Winnipeg lose, then we have a chance. And I get that sometimes they play each other, so it's not going to always work. But I would even add Winnipeg to that mix. So I'm fine if Toronto, Montreal, Winnipeg, and Ottawa win, as long as Ottawa stays below us. And as long as Calgary and Edmonton lose, but both of them need to keep losing, we didn't really help ourselves tonight, then we do have a chance. But it's not going to be easy. Michael, if you had to choose one of these players to help, who would you pick? Doughty, Morgan Riley, Carlson, or Hannafin? Not Doughty, too old. Eric Carlson, too old. I'm thinking about contracts as well. Riley or Hannafin? I'd take either of those two guys. Do you think Schmidt has been our worst defenseman? No, I don't think he's been our worst. Some of the underlying stats have said he's been good. His mistakes are quite noticeable. Yeah, because I think he's played better than Chatfield. I think he's played better than Edler at points, even better than Ben at some points. But he hasn't been amazing, that's for sure. Inferno, Trampkin for most overrated. You know me too well. How did the Flames win one when they were losing 2-0? 3 bad turnovers by the Canucks. Madison Hickley, do you think Holtby will start on Wednesday? Madison, I do think so. Edmund, fair to say Schmidt still adjusting? Yes, that's I definitely think so. Nick, didn't Hamuse hurt himself when he hip-checked Lucic? Yes, he did in the 2011 finals. Dexter, how do you leave the room when the play is on or right before it's about to start? Well, you might remember, Dexter, the Canucks called a timeout. And I'll just say this. I think I underestimated how long I was going to be in the washroom, if that makes sense. Hey, Clay, would you sign Emilio Estevez as our coach? No, not for pure strategy. Maybe for the hype, though. Jim Benning, Canucks legend, Marco Sturm for overrated. Yeah, I don't even remember him doing anything here, but I don't remember a lot of hype around him, so I'm not sure if he can be considered overrated. Crabman, what do you think about moving Pearson, what he's worth before losing him free agency? Yeah, Crabman, I've actually talked about that a lot. Pearson and Edler, if we're out of a playoff spot by the time trade deadline comes, move Pearson, move Edler to, I know he's got no trade, but you can ask him to waive. Tell him you might go win a cup. Move him to a team that could use them as depth in the playoffs, and then we recoup some assets back. When will Hamlet return? I think he's at least a week away. Chase, what time is it for me? It is indeed 10:38. Should have kept Gartig. I don't even know who that is. Jasper, should we panic? No, but it depends on your disposition. Fangirl, would you have prime Sedins right now? Of course. Prime Sedins, yes. I would take them for sure. Toronto's apparently interested in Pearson. Interesting. Reaction Club, did you get my Emilio Estevez joke related to beloved hockey? Yes, Reaction Club. Just because I didn't laugh or fall off my chair laughing, I do recognize that he was the coach in Mighty Ducks coach movies. Thank you. Okay, it is the 42-minute mark. I think we've exhausted tonight's game. Oh, yeah, yes. No, I know Gartig was a Canucks goalie. What I was saying is I don't remember him doing that much. Okay, last question, and then for hockey related. All right, so Clay, I need some fantasy advice on another league. Darlene is back, so do I drop Chikrin or Ryan Ellis? Actually, I don't know how... Nashville's playing so poorly, though, so maybe you drop Ellis. Jasper, do you think Sedin should have played 2 or 3 more years? No. I think they were slowing down. They could still think the game better than anyone, but their body simply wasn't able to keep up with their mind. Okay, last 2 or 3 minutes before I wrap up. Non-hockey related questions. So non-Canucks related questions, non-hockey related questions. I'll get to as many of them as I can. So like I said, last 2 or 3 minutes, non-hockey, non-Canucks related questions, and then I will wrap up. Betty, you think it was a good goal? Okay, I'll just answer this one. Yeah, it was fine. It was onside. A lot of people saying, thank you, you're welcome. Did you have a good day today, Michael? I did. Played some mahjong with the family, a family day, did some studying. And yeah, it was a good day. Thank you. We had hamburgers too. Spicy or mild? I'm going mild. Do you remember Manfred? Yes, I do. Manfred Chan, right? Yes, I do remember Manfred. Manfred and Zoe. When did you start to love the game of hockey? Ever since I was born, but realistically probably when I was 3 or 4 years old. Is Marie Huey pregnant? No, she's had 2 kids, but she's not pregnant right now. What is your favorite team in the AHL? Canucks, then Winnipeg, then Tampa, then Colorado. North of 90s, are you and Lego Rocks a couple? Yeah, we're a couple of good-looking Canucks vloggers. Favorite tennis player? Back in the day, I liked Yvonne Lendl. There's a blast from the past. Best pub in Richmond. Actually, I don't drink, so I wouldn't know. But I know O'Hare's near me in Steveston is pretty good. Hit that bid. Thanks for the stream, Clay. No problem. How do you think is the best way to gain spirituality in our busy lives when we haven't grown up religious? Hit that bid. I just posted my entire testimony on Facebook and Instagram. So look me up on Instagram at Clayton Emo and you will see it. And let's have that conversation another time. Hit that bid. But just explore, ask a lot of questions, find good mentors in your life. Sheldon, when will you be talking about your conversion story? Well, it's posted now in written, but I'm going Instagram Live next Sunday, 1 hour before the Winnipeg Jets game. So Sunday night at 6. What's your preferred study technique? Cram and sleep. Cram and sleep. I'm not the best note taker, but I'm not the best visual or audio learner, so I'm not sure how I've been passing. Yes, Manfred is younger than me. What did you do today? You cannot do a lot of stuff. Yes, I studied, played mahjong, and ate. House tour soon. I'll just unhook everything and walk around the house. Maybe when it gets nicer outside, then I might do a stream or two from outside. How did you meet Marie Huey? Through church. We sang in the same church choir. She sang and I played the piano for it. Did you ever take any martial arts? No, Lefty. I like to pretend I can do that kind of stuff, but I can't. Favorite basketball player? Steve Nash. Can I join the good looking club? You're already in, Michael. Do you watch the BC Lions or Whitecaps? Lions over the Whitecaps. Favorite thing you did in your childhood? Ooh, Arjun, good question. Maybe travel with my family. Travel with my family. Do you watch NBA? Yes, I do. Do you check out my channel? Yes, I did. Canucks for the Cup. I will continue to do so. It was quick. I must admit, I'm going to do it right after this. Can I join the group Chase You're In? I took my boys to Iona Beach. Nice, DSL. Have you gone there? No. How was your first all-members meeting? It was great. It was quiet. It was chill. It was not as crazy as this. It was back and forth, and it was good. Thank you for asking. Best drummer in the world? Oh, good question. I don't know. I don't know enough about drummers, but I know there are a lot of good ones. What are you studying? Master of Arts, Leadership for the New Evangelization. Basically a theology degree. Is Vancouver going to get another NBA team? I don't think so. What happened to your right arm? Thanks for noticing. It was just a cut that I picked open a scab last night. Thank you for noticing, Betty. You're so sweet. Are you a fan of Drew McIntyre? I mean, I think he's good. Is my name the best you've ever seen? It's okay. Do you watch baseball? No. What's your favorite place you travel to? Let's go with Japan. And I like Hawaii as well. If you had to have a last meal, what would it be? Salmon sashimi and beef sashimi. All right, there you go. Thank you, everyone. As I do my wrap up now, next one will be Wednesday night, same time, because the Canucks are going to Calgary. 8 p.m. start in Calgary, though, so 7 p.m. start here. So I'll jump on just before 10 o'clock. Invite you to join this channel as a member. Remember, anyone that joins before the month of February will indeed be entered into a draw to win a $25 gift certificate to the team store. So thanks again to everyone who's supported me as members. And if you choose not to, that's totally fine as well. It hasn't affected at all level of content that I'm providing. If I also did my next What Were They Thinking video yesterday. I talked about Tuukka Rask mindlessly wandering to the net. So check that out if you haven't seen that yet already. So thank you. Thanks again for joining me. And I know that you can be doing anything else. So I do appreciate your loyalty and you sticking around. So as always, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Like this video before you go. Consider becoming a member of this channel. And let's see what the Canucks can do. Let's see what happens. See if they make any lineup changes as they travel to Calgary to finish off this 4-game series, 3 at home and 1 in Cowtown. In the meantime, thanks again for joining me. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and God bless you all. Go Canucks, go. Booyah.